for example, take an example. You have some friends, and you are in equal status, and some 10 or 20 years afterwards, after a long gap, you meet him again, and he was becoming a multi-millionaire, and you feel some jealousy.
Envy.
What happens? You have some disturbed feeling when you see him. He is 1,000 times better than you, and you feel greedy or jealousy upon him. But you can take what you actually works that you cannot be like that. So you block the feeling. So the feeling, some feeling comes from you, and you block the feeling. Thereby you cannot be like that. So you suppress your feeling. Thereby you feel the jealousy. So if in another way, you can think as he is also just like you. If he has got that thing as you are, he has got the thing like that, and you yourself can have the same capacity as your friend has the capacity. You yourself has the capacity to be like that. Then you can take this disturbed feeling as an inducement. So if you take the feeling as an inducement, then basically the feeling is one. But you take the feeling as a positive way. In the first one, you block yourself. I cannot be like that. Then only you block the feeling. So you take it negatively. When you take the feeling negatively, then you feel jealousy. Otherwise, you take it as an inducement, so that you can make you work hard. Then you can rearrange your ways of working. You can reconsider your ways. You can change. You can make some necessary change. Thereby, you can have some different kind of life. Thereby you can have some inducement, whether you reach the place or not, but anyhow you can take it as a positive way. So in that way we can make use of each and every emotions. If you use our emotions in a positive way through our intelligence, we can make use. But if it is not necessary to the external situation, we just ignore our feeling. So whatever comes, it will go naturally. We need not struggle. I should not be greed. I should not have such jealousy. You need not struggle within yourself.
And then it really becomes fun. It's really fun when you can, if you are not trying to work with everything that comes up, and it becomes a big work. Oh, now I feel greed. Oh, how can I be free of it? Or fear, or anger, or anything. Or how to keep their happiness. It's such a big work. And then if you don't need to do anything about it, it can even be, there is even some, I feel some fun even. It's fun.
So it sounds like you were saying this can either be an obstacle for you because you're just envious, you're just jealous of him, or can really be like something good because you learned oh, maybe I can learn something from my friends, what his success story, maybe apply it to something.
So to an external use, then it is an energy. So you create some energy to reconsider your way of approach. Then you have in a positive way. You activate in your activity, so you give you some energy to act. Otherwise it blocks. If you take it negatively, how I cannot go there, he is so very much high, I cannot be, it is possible. Then it blocks yourself. Then only it is jealousy. If we take it in the good sense, we can make it as a positive energy.
So then you can learn from many situations.
Not learning, using. We can use the situation in a positive way.
Okay, actually, yes, catapult.
But this is not a positive thinking, because there is this new age thing of positive thinking.
Not positive thinking. positive approach. We are doing in a positive way.
Yeah. Because some would say if you have this thought, bad thought, you can just play with it, you turn it into a positive, you just change it.
No.
But that is not...
No. But again, we have some energy. When we have some feeling, we have some energy out of that. We can use the energy to our situation.
Okay.
That is in a positive way.
And is that spontaneous happening or is it your own effort?
So intelligence is only out of effort. The external things, everything is made up of effort. There cannot be any positive spontaneous action.
Okay.
We cannot expect spontaneous action.
Okay.
Whatever is in our hand, we have to do. But there are everything is not in our hand. There are many people, many circumstances. There are some other ways are going on. But in our part, we have some scope for our action. So there we have to do for our own. We have to consciously do something.
Some people see enlightenment as an experience, let's say, which appears to them and they notice there is nobody anymore. Nobody is there. There is only a mind-body organism, but psychologically speaking, it says there is nobody, there is not an I as a person or as an individual acting or doing something. What do you think?
They are saying exactly. Their statement is very correct. There is no doubt about it. But their naming is not correct. So they are naming the liberated state as the enlightened state. The naming of liberated state is only the liberated state. The naming of they are giving the enlightenment to the liberated mind.
So let's say I did myself the mistake that says they are liberated and there is nobody.
But they are not different. They are differentiating the liberation and the enlightenment. The enlightenment is different thing. Liberation is different thing. But they are naming the liberated state as the enlightenment state. Then only we cannot understand. But there is nothing to deal with the liberated state. Liberated state is our natural state. If you cannot attain that. So we can attain only the enlightenment alone. Enlightenment alone you have to do. Enlightenment deals with only the understanding. To that level of understanding we can work. We can share.
So when there's the experience to find that there is nobody, it's enlightenment or liberation?
It is liberation. In the liberation we need not tell about. For example, you are going to Tiruvannamalai from your place and you are getting into the flight so that you can go to Tiruvannamalai. And getting into the flight alone is the enlightenment. But Tiruvannamalai is the liberated state. What is the necessity of speaking Tiruvannamalai when you getting into the flight? What is necessary? You have to go into the flight. But when you say something about Tiruvannamalai when you getting into the flight, you come down from the flight and listening what is at Tiruvannamalai. If you listening what I am saying about Tiruvannamalai, you missed Tiruvannamalai itself. You have to go to the liberation. Then you yourself can see what is Tiruvannamalai. You need not expect any explanation from me. You yourself can see in your own eyes. So you can feel liberation on yourself. You need not have any explanation about liberation. But we have to discuss with regarding to enlightenment. That we have to do. That we have to share. Because of a wrong understanding, we are not yet gone to the state of liberation. So the real block is only we are giving the wrong name to liberation. By giving wrong name, that is enlightenment. Thereby we are unable to understand what is enlightenment, what is liberation. So if you understand and what is enlightenment and work for enlightenment, it is very easy to get enlightenment, very easy to get liberation. But if you confuse and club the enlightenment liberation into one, we are mistakenly we are confused what we have to do, what we should not do. We are confused.
So it does, I'm trying to understand, so if somebody becomes enlightened, that's one stage that helps them understand things clearly and help other people, and then liberation is still ahead, it's still another...
Really the attainment is only the liberation, but they cannot say it is an enlightenment. Enlightenment is, it is just an understanding, it is an intellectual understanding. If you use the word enlightenment to the liberation, it is a misleading one. Thereby, because we cannot communicate the liberation with any other person. If anybody tries to communicate what the liberation is, naturally everybody will be misunderstood. Nobody can make anybody to understand what liberation is. Liberation is a natural state. Nobody can describe the liberation. Liberation, what? Moment by it is moment by moment new, and person to person it is new. Your liberation is something new. Our liberation, basically is some moment. The moment is common to each and everybody, but the feeling of moment, what is containing the moment, may be different to person, situation to situation, and we cannot have a concrete definition of what liberation is. So, but we can, at the same time, we can explain enlightenment. We can work up to the level of enlightenment. If you try to describe what is liberation, then we have to miss the main point. Then instead of going to Tiruvannamalai, you get down from the flight and you will be anxious to know more about the Tiruvannamalai instead of going to Tiruvannamalai. That is the problem.
When he gave this example to me, he used the bus, but they got their flight. I just got the bus, the local bus. True.
Some time for you.
Yeah, work harder.
So I will be involved in some silent retreat in 2 days, but there is no meaning in that, according to your teaching.
Living in this?
No, I will be involved in some silent retreat with Muji.
Silent retreat?
Yes.
So
I will do it.
You can do it as a fun.
Yeah,
you don't expect anything
exactly.
out of that.
It was my feeling.
Everything you can make use of everything, but don't expect anything out of that. Whatever comes out of that, let it be out.
Is this more like, I can understand that like people get stuck on some event in the past and it's part of a movie, that it's not the reality.
But everything, we know everything only through our psychological world. If there is no interference of the psychological world, we cannot know, we cannot feel anything. So whatever comes to the psychological world is only some modification, only through some modification, it is not the reality. Some modification, some conception. We make it as a concept, we make it as an idea. Only converting as an idea alone, we can understand something. So it is a psychological happening. The psychological happening, the world created by the psychologically, it is a false world. There is no real world. So we feel, what we recognize, only the false world. We are not recognizing the real world. We take it everything into psychology, convert them into psychological world, we convert them into the conceptual world, then only we know everything. So then only we can say it is wrong. We have no business. We have to dismiss the psychological world. So the real world is there. We cannot dismiss it. Even though you will dismiss it, it is there. You cannot dismiss it. But you can dismiss the psychological world. For example, you dream in a dream. In the dream, you may feel many happenings in that dream. Everything is, when you are in the dream, everything is real. You have some world in you. But what is there? It is only a thought. When you are in sleep, you have a thought. The thought is known as dream. The thought in the sleep is known as dream. And the thought alone, you know, not real world. What you know only the thought. Because of thought alone, you feel something is happening, you are doing something, you are meeting something, everything is happening in the dream. So in the same world, in the same thing, for example, we are sitting here, many things happens around the house, around the road, but you are not aware of everything. What you know is only through our thought. What your thought says, you know only the thing what your thought says. What your thought gives you some information about that. When you are attending my words, your thought says only the thing alone you can. What you feel, what you understand, only the thoughts shows you. You may feel you are in the midst of many things. You know only the single thing, what your thought says. But it is not alone the real thing. The real thing is everywhere. But we know only the little thing, what our thought says. That is the conception. So when we know everything, we know the feel, what our thought says, what our thought source ourselves. So that is the thing, what we feel, what we think is false, unreal. But at the same time, we can, even though it is unreal, it has some reference, some relevance into the day-to-day life. But in the dream land, the dream world, when you come away from the dream, no world is there. But even though you come away from one thought to other thought, the world, external world is there, here. Even though you have your operation only through thought, apart from your thought, the external world is there. But at the same time, you can hold that what I am feeling only thought alone, and what I feel through thought is not real. You can hold. But it is useful only to solve the psychological problem, but not the physical problem. Physical problem we have to work. If you cannot dismiss the physical world, we can dismiss the psychological world. For dismissing the psychological world, you may have different kind of theories, different kind of ideas. Dvaita idea, whatever idea, philosophy you may have. But the utmost result is that we have to dismiss our psychological world. And physical world is the real world. Actually, the real world alone is in existence. The psychological world is not in existence. It comes and goes, comes and disappears. And if you want, we can make use of the psychological world to the help of the real world. And the real world is actually true. It is not false.
But that will not change. You will always experience the world only through your thought, what you are conscious of. You cannot experience the total without thought.
We experience only what we are having in our thought.
Yeah, and that will not change.
There we need not expect any change. It is an expression.
Yeah.
What is the use of changing the expression? The expression will go away. It will disappear.
Yeah.
Whatever comes, it will disappear. We need not change in the field of expression.
Yes.
But the cause of the expression may be different. The external world is here. We have tried to have some change. We have to try to modify something.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do we have to prepare something for the lunch. Prepare lunch, something for the night. that will not happen naturally. But in the, what happens psychologically, it is not real. It may show anything, but that is not useful.
Mhm.
People could save a lot of money on psychotherapy if they could just do
But
that.
everybody, some person may have some problem, psychological acute
Yeah.
problem. For a temporary relief, you can give
Yes.
some treatment, some medical science. We may use the medical science. Physically, now alone is existing. The psychological alone, past, present, future is existing. Psychological alone will have the memory. Physically, there is no memory. There is no continuity.
Yeah.
So, physical continuity alone is there. What we, in each and every moment, physically, what is actually available is alone real.
It's
There is no past, there is no future.
It's
Ah.
real.
It's
But
very
the-
real.
It's alone
what,
real.
Yeah.
what is in the present alone is real. But the psychological projects the past and future. The psychological things,
Exactly.
the time is only in the psychological.
Ah.
Physically, there is no time.
Ah. Ah.